Hello, this is Brush Prime, and today in Kaiju Virtual we take a look at the very rushed sequel to the 1954 movie, Godzilla. That being Godzilla Reigns Again. Yeah, after the success of the original Godzilla movie, it got a sequel. Rushed out in the, not from the same year, like Son of Kong did. But it was different because instead of having Ichiro Honda directed it, because he was busy doing with that other movie. You know, the one that got banned in quotation parts. So they decided to get the guy who did do Toho's version of The Invisible Man. That director, in his first and only Godzilla movie. Yeah, you see why Toho decided to bring why you see Toho use both Ichiro Honda and Yukikuna 4 times. But anyway, this movie begins with some pilots searching for fish. One of the pirates went down, so the other one went to it using the plane they saw. Okay, everything's done. Fixed. But now, on back to the plot of the movie. One of the pilots went down to see the other one there. So they went to camp. Unfortunately, they found the second Godzilla, as it is in the middle of a fight with a new monster, Anguirus, making his first appearance in a Godzilla movie. Matter of fact, he is technically the second monster in all of Toho's movie lot. He does not start with a movie, start with his own movie. He just started off in the Godzilla movie. Yeah. As these two fight and went down to the ocean, the pilots decided to go to the officials, and we also see a cameo from Dr. Romani to remind you, but yeah, this movie is a sequel to the original 1954 one. So show you some footage and the idea plan. Bring Godzilla attracted to light, so they do that plan. Later that night, as everybody dancing, they hear the noise and so they evacuate. So Godzilla was there. And then, as everybody thought, oh, flares so Godzilla can see them, so it could work. Until some bumbling convicts decided to pick the perfect day to escape. Yeah, perfect day to escape. Godzilla is on. You got a freaking giant monster right there, and you decide to do escaping. Whatever that movie about people trying to do a heist in a giant monster crashes, if that comes out, that is a little bit less stupid than having me escape and have the giant monster right there. Again, they did escape, and then, however, one went into a car, ran into an ore tanker, after being chased by police. Then it was crash, caused fire, Godzilla saw it, and he went to Osaka and destroyed everything. And then again, show up, and then he and Godzilla fight. There's a famous scene, or people talk about the scene that the Godzilla and Anguirus fight was sped up because someone accidentally did this motion really, really fast and make the monsters really fast. And apparently Super Ryan actually liked it and kept it in the movie, which is a good thing. Some people like, that's not good. Yeah. And then after they continue fighting and fighting and fighting, more Bumblebee comics come in there after Godzilla and Anguirus fall. Water pushing the comics away and drown. And ends that stupid plotline. Again, this is the director who put a visible person in clown makeup. Yeah, you see why Shiro Hana wasn't there. But anyway, Godzilla decided to do, after bit Anguirus' neck, put Anguirus, after he saw on the screen the castle, and then crumbles it, and Godzilla bites his neck, and then burns Godzilla with his atomic breath, killing Anguirus. And then time went on. Again, the Osaka thing was not less impact than what the one from Tokyo in the last movie did. Yeah. Then time went on. You see the characters doing. And also, this movie was made during there was snowing. So, this is one of the rare moments of snow in a kaiju movie. And yeah, Godzilla returns after destroying a boat. So a bunch of military people, actually air crewmen that one of our pilot friends knew. And then they decided to go out and search for other things. Search for Godzilla. They found him. Then they decided to attack him. Didn't work. Our party plan went down. Godzilla used atomic breath after doing the same thing twice. And Godzilla was annoyed. And this time, the third time, he does time to do that. And Godzilla used his atomic breath, kills him, and cause an avalanche to fall. This makes the perfect plan. So the Air Force decided to do that. Bury Godzilla with an avalanche. Bury Godzilla with ice. And it works! After a long sequence, Godzilla was defeated by ice and kept there forever. You see why this. Overall, Godzilla Raids Again is a interesting one. Godzilla Raids Again. I know some people consider this movie. Some people believe this movie is the worst Godzilla movie ever made. I'm gonna say this. Godzilla Raids Again is not the worst Godzilla movie ever made. If it was the first Godzilla movie, it's not the worst. Again, it's a rush sequel, but it's like saying Son of Kong is the worst Kong movie ever made. It's like saying Gamma vs. Barugan was the worst Gamma movie ever made. This is the second Godzilla movie, and you consider this to be the worst. There's other Godzilla movies you consider to be worse. But Godzilla Raised Again is not the worst Godzilla movie. At times it would be, and then there are other movies that show you how worse this franchise have for bad movies. Again, for me, it's an okay movie. It introduced the giant monster battles. It brought Masato Sato to do the composing of this movie, who's later on doing amazing scores whenever he's teamed up with Jun Furukawa's pieces of the Godzilla movies. It introduced us to the two of To's greatest actors, both Kanano Kazumi and Yoshiro Shida, both first appeared in a Godzilla movie. And these guys normally don't play. Again, they play pilots. Again, one is the main character and the other one's just a minor character. Again, those two play pilots. Pilots. We're not saying... We're not randomly saying pilots and be confused with pirates. Again, these two actors later on play different roles, like scientists, reporters, aliens. You know the standard names later on in the Godzilla series. Again, this movie also introduced the first Godzilla after the 54 one. The second Godzilla of this series is the one who will stay on the series later on throughout the Showa era. Anguirus, yeah, he's dead, but this is his first appearance, so he died halfway in the movie. But he became a fan favorite that ultimately he led to be part of Destroy Monsters and the other Godzilla movies later on, including the upcoming Godzilla Singular Report series, where he is portrayed as a little bit different from the usual stuff like this anime is gonna do with our famous guy. Again, after this movie, Toho put Godzilla on hiatus for 7 years. I have already reviewed the movies that were in that. That includes Rodan, the first movie in color. The Mysterians, the first movie in widescreen. The Ancient Man, another take on the Lucky Dragon number 5 incident. Baron, the failed project. The failed TV movie turned theatrical movie. Battle Out of Space, the space movie. The sequel, the loose sequel to the Mysterians. The Free Treasures. I have not reviewed that one, but the long movie. There's the other two of the Amazing Transforming Human series. The Secret of the Citizen and the Human Vapor. Mothra! Another movie that is similar to Godzilla And it's so different. And finally, and Gorath. So, yeah. Without Godzilla Raised Again, you could not have characters like Rodan and Mothra, two of those biggest kaiju movies of all time. Yeah, Godzilla Raised Again. Again, there was going to be a sequel called Bride of Godzilla, where they could introduce the High Earth and all that other stuff. You see why it's in a long 7 years of no Godzilla movie. Yeah, and around that time, one of the creators of a certain ape, pitched his idea to make a movie where this gorilla fight a beloved classic novel character. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. Around that time, Willis O'Brien, who hates Kong, decided to do a movie featuring King Kong battling the Frankenstein's monster. Actually, a descendant of Dr. Frankenstein creature who was dubbed Prometheus or the Ginkgo, and he decided to find him. Then he went to a producer named John Beck. John Beck decided to sneakily send the rights to Toho after they want to do a Frankenstein movie featuring the human vapor. They decided that may work. They replaced Frankenstein with their monster. And first, the movie that the third Godzilla movie and King Kong movie was born. The one that we are actually, yes, the first time these two titans of cinema history collide. That's right. Next week we're talking about King Kong versus Godzilla. The Japanese version. Not the American version. Speaking of American version, I forgot to tell you that Godzilla Raised Again has an American dub. Re-edited version. It's called Gigantus, the fire monster, because of the fire monster concept was different. Originally, these two monsters were originally the Godzilla suit and the Anguirus suit was later ordered by a different film company. They want to do it, dub the volcano monsters, so they try to make the movie where they replace all the other footage, all the Japanese footage with American footage, and have giant monsters be different. Very weird. That's how Godzilla Raised Again came when Warner Bros. Got it. Hell ironic. And they changed it up and call him Gigantus so they cannot be confusing him with Godzilla. So they also give it a Gigantus Wars. George Kai voiced the character. And oh yeah, don't mention this. The famous, infamous banana oral slang thing. I don't know, bananas don't have oral. But who cares? Yeah, next week will be King Kong vs. Godzilla. Japanese version, not the American version. But yeah, anyway, this is Splash Prime, Steel 10. And yeah, next week will be pretty good.